The very first TV programs in Belize hit the airwaves in 1981, the same year the country gained political independence. Back then, most of the shows were broadcasts from US-based TV stations. As TV gained popularity, Belizeans became hooked on what was then the prime source of entertainment. Who could forget Harry Carey and Cubs baseball? Or the steamy plots of soap operas like Another World? From its introduction in 1981, even though we didn't have continuous on-air programming, there were locally produced shows that aired, like the hoisting of the Belizean national flag and the Independence Day Parade. Quite a few shows followed in the early years of Belizean TV. Sylvana Woods wrote, produced, and presented Belize All Over. She believes that television has transformed Belizean culture over the decades.
Fascinating medium, but my goodness, it makes things larger than life. Television, that burger, you want to sink your teeth into it when you see the ad. We crave things because we see it. What is your image of a beautiful person? We constantly are bombarded with these images. Some of the early rappers in Belize, they would rap with a Jamaican accent, all right? Or they would bring in Jamaican wording instead of then say this and then say that, and go, them a say, them a this, which would be more Jamaican. So, it definitely impacts everything, culture, etc.
So let me hear you.
Belizeans quickly became fans of many US TV shows from the 80s. There was Solid Gold and comedies like The Jeffersons, Barney Miller, and Different Strokes. Many housewives tuned into these daily programs back then. Eventually, television began to take a hold in Belize. Denver Fairweather, who grew up watching the lights, cameras, and action of US TV, became a producer while working in television-based jobs. He saw the need for more local TV programs and acted. He is best known for the hit series No Matter What.
I realized that there was nothing much on TV in terms of entertainment. So I made the investment from my salary to get equipment and actually did my first local TV show, you name it, in 1995. We did actually 4 seasons of No Matter What. We did season 1 in 2005, we did season 2 in 2006, I believe we did season 3 in 2008, and we did season 4 in 2010. Because Steve actually, he was still a professor at Howard, and he just took some sabbaticals or periods off where he did come back, and then we worked on the seasons. In 2017, we teamed up with Kim Vasquez, and we did a pilot 4-episode season of a sitcom, Living My Life.
Fairweather recalls his childhood before TVs were in every bedroom and living room. He feels that television has taken away some of the old-time traditions we used to cherish.
The social aspect of watching movies in theaters and going out on Sunday evening for ice cream and stuff like that changed. People would stay home and watch TV. So that was, let's say, it had a negative social effect in that aspect. The other major negative social effect that TV had was, I remember when Colors came out, back in, say when I was finishing primary school, this would have been about 90 primary school, this was at 87. I think Colors came out around that time. That's when you started to hear about Crips and Bloods and then the gangbang. And I suppose you had bad man and you had bad areas, but they weren't affiliated or associated and teaming up as such.
Stuart Crone is the former managing director of Channel 5. Having spent several years in TV and news production, Crone agrees that television is an extremely powerful medium that has had its pros and cons. But he believes that Belizean television is greatly influenced by US TV, and some are based on personal tastes.
Things like smoking, fewer Americans smoke now. Guess what? Fewer Belizeans smoke. It might be because cigarettes are so much more expensive now, but it might be that people are more health conscious. People work out and live healthier lifestyles more than they used to. Maybe this was a homegrown thing, but maybe, just maybe, it was influenced by what we see on television. It's it's a very powerful medium, and in many cases it sets the narrative.
But Crone also pointed out some more serious issues that television might have influenced.
let's take the instance of environmentalism. It's my belief that as the United States culture moved more toward environmentally friendly, a more environmentally friendly position, I think Belize reflected that. While you had your forces in Belize pushing toward conservation and that, certainly it got a boost when you saw that culturally the United States got big into conservation. It made it much easier for that message to sell in Belize. So I look at that as a positive thing. I would add to that the same attitudes towards LGBTQ plus things. Personally, I see that as a positive influence. Others might look at it as a negative influence.
Fairweather would like to see more local culture in Belizean television, but he says it takes a lot of capital investment for these types of programs.
When it comes to entertainment-based programming that may not have as much viewership as news, albeit it would be more entertaining, but also cost more to produce. For example, when I do for a season of No Matter What, we would actually spend about 6 months shooting, planning and shooting, and another 2 months editing. So we're doing somewhere between 6 and 8 months of work for 8 to 10 episodes, weekly episodes. Now, if I try to charge, when we look at, I only have about 12 minutes of advertising.
Fairweather revealed that he's working on a new program set to air in December. The series will be called Clutches. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.